going to be on the power of data, unlocking insights in the age of generative AI. And this event is brought to you by Experion Technologies. This is an absolutely brilliant panel. So first, Sri, thank you for the support. And we'd love to know about at Experion, how are you helping people? Over to you.
Very excited to be here today. In fact, I was thinking, probably I'm the only person from the service industry. All of them have currently working with the larger enterprises and then probably building their own systems for their own product or services. So at Experion, what we do is we are an engineering services company. What does that mean is we work with our clients for building their solutions. So primarily 90% of our work we do is product engineering. That means we build product or their intellectual property for our clients. And those clients are mostly spread across US, UK, EU, Australia, and Japan. So as a company, the advantage we get is we get to see hundreds of problems these clients are trying to solve. And these customers spread across SMEs, large enterprises, you can, in whatever scale you can think of. And sometimes we are too excited about when a disruption hit the market, right? Few years back, it was all blockchain. We don't hear about blockchain anymore. Yeah, it is there. A lot of startups started working on blockchain. A lot of enterprises started doing distributed computing using distributed ledgers. I don't see that anymore, right? And this time in the last couple of years, we see, okay, there is a new thing called generative AI. Now, what is the reality? So when you go to the actual businesses, while we are all excited about ChatGPT and DeepSeek and then one more Chinese thing that has come recently, right? So it's very exciting in terms of, from a consumer perspective. I use one of these tools almost every single day. It really helps you to perform your work better, absolutely no doubt about it. But when you are talking about the specific topic we are dealing today, whether the enterprise is able to leverage generative AI to unlock some of the insights, we need to again look at the reality. See, most of the boardrooms or even management reviews, if you see people who are running the business, what are the tools they use? They ask someone to come up with a report, probably a performance report, and usually that is delivered as a PowerPoint, right? It doesn't come from a dashboard directly. And sometimes it is digital also. How? It is not a printed report, it is on an iPad or a tablet, right? But you're still looking at the static information coming from one of these business intelligence tool, or some part of it is predictive, some forecasting models. But most of the organization, even larger organization in our experience, struggling to interact with the data they have. Large amount of data collected, but the people who make business decisions are unable to use that data for making critical decision making. Why is it happening? Because you are unable to interact with the data. And the biggest advantage I see with generative AI is you can probably leapfrog at least some of these smaller organizations who doesn't have a data governance in place, you don't have a data lake, no integration layer, nothing in place, but you have fragmented data across your organization. You have ERP systems, CRM systems, you name anything, 30, 50 different systems built over a period of time, bought over a period of time, data in different silos. How do you bring data and then make critical decision making? And I think the power of generative AI comes there, where you will be able to use some of the newer technologies out there, which is coming up right now, where you can augment the data, real data from your database, and use an LLM or a model to give you insights about your business. You can ask questions to the model, and it will give you results, rather than working with a static image of your dashboard. Even interacting with the dashboard, it's too complicated, all the filters and segmentation, all that you need to do. But what if I'm able to ask, how am I looking today? How is my business doing compared to last year, this quarter, right? If a business, if especially you are in an SME segment, if you're able to use that information to run your business better, I think that is the way the generative AI will help you to run your business. Thanks.
Sri, here's a nice question. As AI models like ChatGPT become more integrated into service-based companies, what are the biggest challenges you foresee in terms of adoption, ethical use, workforce impact, and maintaining a balance between automation and human expertise? How should companies prepare for these challenges?
Very, very interesting question. I wish I knew the answer because I'm going through it right now. See, the biggest problem right now from a service perspective, I see that you are from TCS. So we had, I will give an example. We have been working with a very US-based travel, adventure travel company. And we have been developing their systems for last 1 year. It's an ongoing product development. And recently, their legal team reached out to us asking us whether we are using any of the generative AI tools in the life cycle activity. So in product development, you know that there are different phases involved in terms of defining the requirements, coming up with the design, the architecture design of the software, then building the software, testing it. So there are a lot of activities involved in the life cycle of building a product. And the question was, are you going to use any tools? So we wanted to say, yes, we wanted to use the tools. Because if you look at an agreement, a master service agreement with any organization, when we are providing our services, there are clearly stated clauses saying that we completely guarantee that every single line of the code is free of any copyright infringement. Because the property, the intellectual property is owned by the end customer, like our customer. Anything you write, we need to ensure that it is not violating any copyrights. Now, the question is, when you generate a code from one of these tools, so there are tools out there like Microsoft has this Visual Studio Code, there are two called Codium, Amazon has Q, there are hundreds of tools out there where you can actually create any, just prompting the engine, you can generate source code. And the code being generated is excellent, no doubt about it. So we have this problem of like having, when a software engineer enter into an organization, they are called as a fresher engineer, right? And they have to go through years of training and then experience before they mature enough to write real production quality code. But here, when you are using an AI engine, one of these models, you are getting real good code. It sort of encapsulates tens of years of experience, intelligence into the code. So we can't really say no to writing good code, right? But then the dilemma is whether this is legally fine. This is in compliance with what is guaranteed in your contractual agreement. And if you look at Microsoft or any of other vendors, they indemnify you for, so they say that in their agreement with you, they say that they indemnify you for the code being generated from the Gen AI tool. But if you go and read the fine print, your legal will not allow to agree to it. So it is a tricky situation right now, just like other technology. It will take a time before customers would realize, especially in the service space, whether this benefits outweigh the legal implications of it. And it need more clarity in terms of how they generate the code, how it is stored, whether it is used for training, which they say they don't use your code for training their models. So a lot of gray areas which we still need to figure out. And that's a challenge right now.
Thank you. Thank you for that. This will be for you, Sri. So many people, when you're hiring for good technological roles within your company, and when people are applying for jobs, not for just across any part of the company, people polish it up with the resumes through AI. You replace that with any coding or any kind of work, they use AI as a crutch to make them look smarter, better. So you as a leader and as a co-founder of a company, how do you differentiate between the chef and the real person?
There is no way to look at resumes and judge a person. We have realized that because we get beautiful resumes, very polished resumes, And the only way you assess the person is through direct interviews, the old-fashioned way. And even remote interviews, you won't believe it. I mean, it has become so difficult to really understand the same person is speaking. We have so many experiences where there is someone doing lip syncing and all that, and we have to sort of innovate ourselves. Like you would ask some sudden questions like which school you studied and what is your second cousin's name and all that. And suddenly this person fumble up, and then we just say that, okay, just, so I don't know, they also keep innovating, like applying, like we used to ask them, just show the, I mean, you can't ask this to people, right? We are genuine people. There are genuine people out there. You can't really just go and ask this to every single person, right? It is an insult to people. So this is happening in the industry, but the only way you do right now is don't look at resume and then hire. Nobody does that actually. You have to interview the people. And sometimes you have to hire the person, and then that also happens. You find that somehow he sort of faked everything in the resume and even in the interview, right? I mean, there is no other way to then get rid of the person as quick as possible without really getting yourself hurted. So there is problem in the industry because of all this AI tools. This is the other side of the issue where people use beautiful language models to polish their resumes, create projects and case studies, and probably they will create the talking points on the project using the same tool when they attend the interviews. So it's a difficult game, but you have to go through it.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for that, Sri. Really appreciate it. That's a note for all of us to take. So thank you. And gentlemen, thank you for spicing up our post-lunch session. Thank you for your insights. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you.